YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It has been a minute since I've sat down with you guys or filmed a vlog, and I'm very excited to be filming this video. I know I have not been the best YouTuber or vlogger this year, but I have been posting a lot on TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, go follow me on there because I've really been enjoying posting on there. It's been so much fun. I am currently in Williamsburg right now. I'm at my apartment. Just got back from California a few days ago where we had our civil ceremony, which was so special, and I'm sure you guys got to see a bit of it on social media. We had the best time ever with James's parents visiting and in town and showing them Orange County, and truly it was just the most special day. It was exhausting though, and I owe you guys a full wedding planning update for our one in September, so I'm going to give you guys that in this video. And I'm about to head upstate with my friend Abby. It is a Sunday. We're going to spend a couple of days up there. I'm super excited to show her the house. I was planning on going up by myself, but I'm actually really happy that she can come now because I think I would have been a little bit afraid sleeping at the house by myself, although I should probably get over it and do it myself at some point. But I'm going to bring you guys along and show you what we get into over the next couple of days up there as well. Before we get any further into this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about Natural Cycles. It is an app that I have used for years now. I've shared about it on Instagram around Christmas time this year, and I actually got so many questions about it, so I'm excited to be partnering with them on this YouTube video. Natural Cycles is a non-hormonal, non-invasive birth control with 0 side effects. I use Natural Cycles connected through my Oura Ring, but you can also use it with a thermometer that you can get with your subscription. I stopped taking birth control in March of 2023, I believe. I had been on it since I was 16, and I really just wanted to get off of it and be in control of my own hormones. I didn't want to be taking something every single day to regulate my period. I had also been diagnosed with PCOS, and birth control can help mask the symptoms of PCOS, so I really wanted to just see what my body was like without being on a hormonal birth control, and that's when I got Natural Cycles so that I am able to track my period, track my temperature, and when I might be ovulating. And I've honestly learned so much about myself and my own cycle, and I'm still regulating it. I still don't get 100% normal period, but with the app I always know when it's coming and when I'm ovulating. So right now I'm using it to prevent pregnancy naturally, but when we decide we do want kids, it'll be an awesome resource for planning pregnancy naturally. So you could track if you're on your period, how heavy the period is, if you've had sex. If you're trying to get pregnant and you track the days that you're having sex, it's really cool to understand for conception. As of right now, we are not trying to get pregnant, especially not trying to get pregnant right before I get married in September. I feel like we would love to be pregnant at some point, but right now I'm tracking it to not get pregnant. But I'm sure after we get married, we'll have the conversations of when we want to start trying. And Natural Cycles is going to be super helpful when that comes around as well. So I'm going to do it for today. I am not on my period. And then you can also, like if you do an ovulation test, you could say positive or negative. I put in like skin, if it's oily or something, pain and symptoms. You can use my code Ella Rose to get 15% off an annual subscription. If you have any questions about Natural Cycle, please leave the questions below in this video. I'd be happy to answer anything for you guys. I have been using it for years now. I don't ever plan on going on a hormonal birth control ever again in my life. And if you are someone who's been wanting to get off of it and looking for another option for birth control, Natural Cycles is an incredible option. Before we head upstate, I wanted to give you guys a little update on everything wedding planning. So as you know, we've had our engagement party, we have had our civil ceremony, which are so exciting, and I kind of shared how I planned both of those. We just had our civil ceremony at Hotel Joaquin in Laguna Beach, which is the cutest little boutique hotel. We did not rent it out completely. We literally said we were fine if people were swimming in the pool right next to us or walking by, but we did it on a Sunday afternoon and it felt completely private. I think I saw one other person there the whole day. We got 2 rooms, so James and I stayed there and his parents stayed there too, and I got ready at my house in Newport, and James took his parents up there that afternoon, and they relaxed and chilled at the hotel and had some lunch, and then all of the boys met James for a beer up there before, and then I came with my girlfriends, and Gracie, who's pregnant, drove us from Newport up to Laguna. It only took like 20 minutes. It's honestly super close. It's like right on the border of Laguna, so it's pretty close to Newport. And we walked in, we said hi to everyone, we each had a drink, and then I said, all right, should we do this? And my dad was like, yep, let's go down there. And I didn't want this civil ceremony to take away from what we're doing in September at all. Again, this was really just our legal ceremony and a time that we wanted for our parents and family to meet. His parents had only met my dad and my sister before. They had never met my mom, my stepdad, my dad's fiance. So it was a really nice time for everyone to meet prior to September. And also my grandma is 94. She's not going to make it to our wedding in September in France. She hasn't been on an airplane in probably 30 years. I'm probably gonna be the only, I don't want to say this, but I might be the only granddaughter that she ever gets to see, or grandchild ever gets to see, get married. So it was extremely special. She got to be a witness alongside James's dad on the legal documents, and she had the best time ever. And it was so special. Honestly, she was a hoot, and it was the best time ever. I wore a yellow dress because, again, I didn't want to take away white from September. And then when we got started, we all walked down to the lawn. I had 6 chairs there, and there was like 14 of us. So me, my dad, and James were at the front. We all just walked up there. There was no walking down the aisle or anything. My dad said, let's get started. Some people were standing, some people were sitting. I had chairs there for my grandma and my other grandma, and Gracie, because she was pregnant, if she wanted to sit down. And my dad started the ceremony. He was our officiant, which was really cool. He did a course online to be able to do that. And he started it off. James and I read some vows that were really special. They were probably like a minute or 2 each. I think we both wrote them that morning, but they were truly so special. Honestly, mine were so good. I don't know if I'll ever share that video online, but it was really special, and James was in tears. And then we walked up right from the lawn back up to the bar again. It was a bar open to the whole hotel, but I'm pretty sure we were the only ones in there. And then they had a little private area on a deck overlooking where you could see the ocean and the beach, and it was so lovely. I had to bring in caterers and furniture rentals because they don't do dinner there. They have an amazing breakfast, but I had to bring those things in. So even planning that was like a little bit stressful, honestly, just because I've been so busy, and we kind of planned it a little bit last minute. We also went to the courthouse like a few days before to pick up the papers, and then we signed them all there on the day of, and then my dad mailed them back to the courthouse the next day. And then we have to order, I'm looking at it because I have it right here, but then we have to order our marriage certificate for it to be official. But it was really fun. It was exhausting, but it was really special, and I'm happy we got to do that. And then in terms of our wedding in September, we have our save the dates out. I shared that on Instagram. We got them out a while ago. I posted that video a little bit after we had gotten them out, and now we are waiting to get our invites in the mail, which we're doing a beautiful invite for the wedding ceremony and reception. And then we have a little folding card in it, which I'll show you guys when it comes, that is the schedule of events, because we're doing a welcome aperitif, and then we're doing the wedding day ceremony and reception at one place, and then the next day we're doing a recovery. James and I have a house that we're staying at out there, which is so beautiful and gorgeous. We got to see it on our most recent trip there. We're gonna have it from Monday to Monday of the wedding, so we can go and settle. We're gonna have some friends stay there with us. I don't think we're gonna pack the house full just so we can have our own little sanctuary. Not gonna have any family stay with us there, but I think we'll do a rehearsal lunch at that house on the Thursday, and then Friday will be the welcome aperitif. And I wanted to do a rehearsal lunch and not a rehearsal dinner so that it can end early enough. It doesn't carry on into like a night of drinking, and I can go to bed early and feel so fresh before the welcome aperitif on Friday, which we are doing that at one of the venues that we went and saw when we just went out there. This is a destination wedding, but it is a destination that is not super popular, so we did reserve all of the hotels for everyone so that when our wedding invites go out and they're ready to book, we can just say, hey, we think you should stay here, and connect them, because we didn't want to leave people stranded looking for places to book in a place that does not have many hotels. Again, I need everyone to come in to this wedding with an open mind, because this is very rural south of France. It is not Nice or Saint-Tropez or bougie south of France. So there is not hotels like they have in America or they have in those areas. It is very different. It is very special, but it is just not the typical south of France that you think of when you hear it. But that is what we're doing on the Friday, which is really exciting. Saturday, so we changed our wedding venue, which is crazy, but it was the right decision, and I'm very happy it all worked out. We were just not seeing eye to eye with the venue that we had originally booked. We had honestly been warned by people before that they can be quite difficult to work with. I thought it would all be fine. When we went out there and viewed it, it was lovely and I loved it. But the quotes that they wanted to give us for like all of the vendors were just like so inflated and so expensive, and also just not what we were looking for. We want our wedding to not feel like super over the top. We want it to be pretty laid back. So we decided to cancel that wedding venue. When that happened, we kind of panicked a little bit. We're like, what should we do? We had viewed a bunch of locations when we were out there, mainly for our guests to stay at. So there was one that we actually initially reached out to. I don't want to say the names of the venues because I don't want people looking them up yet, and you'll see them come September. But we looked into one when we initially got engaged, like a few weeks after. His dad was like, this is a really beautiful one. His dad, as in James's dad, was like, this is a beautiful one. I looked into it. At that time, we had like 3 weekends that we were looking at, and only 2 of them were available, and the one that we ended up going with, this place was not available. So that is why we actually ended up booking this other venue. Or when we went in January, we still went and saw this other venue to book it for guests to stay in, and we fell in love with it. Honestly, I was like, this is so cool. It was a lot more like, it's like a castle, but it had more modern elements to it. Like the rooms felt, it's like an artist hotel. So the rooms felt very modern and relaxing and chill and not so medieval and stuff, even though it was in this medieval castle, which I thought would, again, be another place for some Americans to stay at. When this all happened, I called the owner of that hotel and asked her if there's any way we could get married there. I know she wasn't available that weekend. She said, let me see what I can do. And she was able to move some things around and allow us to have our wedding there, and she was super excited about that. And I was like, okay, this is all meant to be. And in the beginning also, I had spoken to a wedding planner out there that this woman recommended, and I was like speaking to her, and initially she wasn't available this weekend either, and I was gonna have her plan the welcome drinks and the day after party, because our old venue, you couldn't have your own planner. You basically had to use the woman who owned it as the planner, unless you wanted to pay like double fees, which we didn't want to pay. And this girl who I had reached out to was so lovely. She was busy this weekend, and then when this all happened again, I reached back out to her, and she told me her clients canceled on her. She actually told me they ghosted her, which is kind of fucked up, but it all worked out. She's now planning the entire weekend. She's doing the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I am doing it all with her. It is not like an over-the-top planner situation. And we also came in with a lot of the groundwork done that James and I had already done, like finding the venues. We had some vendors already, not booked, but already speaking to in terms of food. James's parents also know some of the owners of these venues because this is where they've had a house for 20 years. So it ended up all working out. It was meant to be. And then the recovery, we also are doing it at this gorgeous like winery that James and I stayed at when we most recently went and saw everything in January. So it's all working out great. I have no stress about it anymore, although I do feel like we're lightly behind. I mean, our invites haven't gone out yet. We just found a florist. It hasn't even been locked in yet. We just found our temp people. It is like currently being locked in. Nothing is 100% secure. I know it will all happen in due time. I'm honestly having the chillest mindset about this because I trust our planner. I know that rushing it is never going to be the right option. It's also not the most popular area of France, so I know it'll all work out and it'll all be perfect. And yes, if you guys have any other wedding questions, let me know. I'm sure I missed some things because I'm still working on planning my bachelorette, which I'm gonna do the same weekend as James. He's going to Montreal in July, and I wanna do mine that weekend in the Dominican Republic. We actually had planned to go to the Caribbean, and what I was gonna do kind of fell through. I talked about it on Instagram and TikTok, but I have a lead on the DR now, so I'm fingers crossed that that works because it would be so perfect. And what else do I need to plan? That's pretty much it. And then if I want to do like a bridal shower and stuff, but that stuff can be thrown together last minute. I honestly have a very chill mindset about all of this. I do think there's a ton of work to be done in terms of locking in all of the vendors. We are going back in June. We have a wedding in London in the end of May, and then a wedding in Portugal early June, and then we're gonna fly from Portugal to France to do any tastings, lock in any of the vendors. I feel like I have a call this week with our planner, so hopefully we can lock some things in this week. But I also need to book our honeymoon. We're thinking of doing something very chill, like Mallorca for a couple nights. I don't think we're gonna do like a huge honeymoon. Knowing me, I'm gonna be so fucking tired, and I'm just gonna wanna rot on a beach or by a pool for like 4 or 5 days and then come home because I know I'm gonna be so tired, and maybe we'll do a big trip like Tokyo or something in a year or two. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that I missed. I feel like it's coming up really quickly, but I know it is all going to work out. We did book our flights, so that's exciting, and we have the house that we're staying at, and we have the accommodations booked for everyone. So I really just need to finalize our website, get these invites out, and then lock in all the vendors, and I'll be feeling really good. But okay, I've made my friend wait too long. Let's go pick her up in West Village. Okay, we're ending our stay here with crepes from Meghan Markle's brand. And we're gonna put fresh jam on it from her brand too. We've been watching the show this weekend too, which is really cute. As ever, raspberry spread. We watched how Meghan makes it in her cute little Montecito home. And we're melting the butter on the stove because we don't have a microwave in this household.
I'm so excited. So good. Smell that.
It smells like lemony almost. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out. She wants to see like the finished thing. Okay, well.
Look, it's just a baby crepe.